Hi everyone. For Module 4, I decided to evaluate the online platform GooseChase EDU. And I've had a little bit of limited experience with this, but through research and looking into this more, it actually turned out to a really great learning platform that I encourage you to check out. So the first thing here, the cost. So GooseChase has 4 options. So first of all, you go to goosechase.com/edu to set up your account, and there's 4 options you can pick from. So the Educator Basic option here is free. In this mode, if you do decide to do that, team mode is the only thing that's available with the free version. And you can have up to 5 teams and 5 mobile devices per team. If you move on to the other options, they are paid subscriptions. So the first one's Educator Plus. It's $49 a year per educator. And you have all of the options from Educator Basic. Plus, you can now have 10 teams or 40 individual players. Educator Premium is $199 a year per educator. Again, all of the options are included here. You can now have 40 teams or 200 individual players. And then finally, you can just simply contact GooseChase to request a quote from them based on your needs for your district. So again, if you're planning to do something that's possibly like district-wide or even school-wide where you're going to have hundreds and hundreds of players, GooseChase can give you a quote based on the needs that you might have. So how to use it? Well, it's pretty simple. Teachers just go to GooseChase EDU and they set up the game right from their computer. Using the website, and then once their game is created, you'll have a class code. The students do have to download an app to their mobile device, and they can join the game via the code. And I'll hit on this a little bit more, but GooseChase can be completely hands-on, can be completely hands-off, really as much the teacher wants it to be. But the game is designed to simply just run itself if that's the option that the teacher needs to choose. So services from GooseChase here. So the overall idea of GooseChase is to set up a scavenger hunt type game with missions to create an interactive lesson. So this allows the students to be up on their feet and engaged while still incorporating technology. So again, oftentimes, we look at incorporating technology, we have students on their devices, but we might just have them sitting. This has the chance for them to be on their devices, to use their devices, but they're up and moving around and collaborating. When they're ready to submit, they have different options they can choose. So they can submit their missions, via photo, via video. There's GPS check-ins, or there's text-based questions and riddles. So again, all different options there for different types of learners. The games can be completed in teams or individually. Again, as I mentioned, if you do the individual route, you do have to look at the paid subscription for that one. There is a game library included in GooseChase for you to select from, and there's also the ability for you to share the game that you've created with other colleagues. So a couple of collaborative features here to touch on. So teachers can monitor all of the activity right from the website. So they can remove entries, ones that don't necessarily fit, ones that are inappropriate, ones that they don't deem necessary. You can message the students and teams from GooseChase, and you can also award bonus points to teams that's going above and beyond. GooseChase is meant to be a synchronous or an asynchronous platform here. So the teams can be interacting as a team synchronously, or can be completely individual asynchronously, or you can even be doing teams asynchronously. It can be used for all types of learning here. So the social presence model here and GooseChase, so a lot of good stuff from the reading. I just wanted to touch quickly on each of the points of the social presence model. So the first one here, the affective association. GooseChase is run in a team format. Gives the students ability to connect emotionally. They feel a part of a team. They're allowed to cheer their teammates on. They're able to cheer their teammates on. It's a friendly competition. So again, it just gives the students, that ability to just connect with the people they're working with, especially those that, struggle finding ways to fit in. Number 2, community cohesion. GooseChase allows the students to feel as part of the community among their teammates, as well as the class community as a whole. So again, if you're finding that you have different students that are just struggling to fit in just with your individual classroom, GooseChase is a great opportunity for them just to fit right in based on the learning that's happening. The interaction intensity. So GooseChase allows students to interact through completing their own missions and the ability to interact with the teacher. Student-to-student interaction is pretty limited within GooseChase, so it would be really helpful if you had some other learning platform where messaging's available. So we use Schoology here in our district. We've used Seesaw in the past, or the students have their own Gmail account. So if there is a point where students do need to be interacting with each other and they're not actually in the building, it'd be good to have an option for them to use. Knowledge and experience. So GooseChase does allow students to draw on prior knowledge to complete the assignment, but it's not always necessary. So this can be useful for an asynchronous assignment if you're looking to do something with a subject that you've already taught, or it's a skill that students have already learned and are bringing with them to your classroom. GooseChase can be used here. Little negative here, though, it can hinder the students' ability to share what they already know, again, based on the limitations they have with messaging on Goose Chase, and especially if you're doing something, in the team format, but it's asynchronous, where they're not really interacting with anyone. Bringing their prior knowledge and experience isn't always easy. Finally, instructor involvement. So as I already mentioned, the teacher can be involved as much or as little as they choose. So the teacher can follow along live, and they can message the kids, awarding bonus points, like I said, or they can just simply let the game run itself. And Goose Chase is designed to do so if needed. So the students can just be completing their individual missions and tasks, and the teacher can check back in after the game is over. So collaborative outcomes here. So two that I want to hit on. Number one, outreach and authentic learning experience. So a couple of things here. So Goose Chase, again, it is designed to be a game, so project-based learning. And it can be done across multiple classrooms. It doesn't just have to be limited to just your room. Students are up and moving, and there's active collaboration happening among teammates. And number two, immersive and quest-based learning. So again, as I said, it's a game, and it's a scavenger hunt, and the kids really get into it based on the ability to treat it as a game with competition, completing missions. And develops teamwork and strategy. Each person on the team is going to have some sort of job to complete, especially if you're doing it in a way that's asynchronous, where there's different tasks that the students have to do, and they're completing those tasks individually, but through the goal of working as a team. So a couple of uses here in the classroom that relate specifically to my content area, which is math and science. So we did a place value scavenger hunt this year amongst the 3 math teachers on my team. And we did this one face-to-face, but it could also be done synchronously as well. But the students, again, they were up and moving, they're using Goose Chase, they're solving the missions, and they were going back and forth between the 3 classrooms to find all of the clues that were involved in the missions. So the students really enjoyed that while they were working on their place value skills and allowing to collaborate with, with all 3 math teachers on our team. We've also done an agenda scavenger hunt. We usually do this in the beginning of the year. And again, this one can be done synchronously or asynchronously, but the students are all given agendas, and they're new to the students this year, so we allow them just to kind of go through and explore and find different things. So we give them, different options, such as looking for different page numbers or looking for different people that are involved in the building, and they have to go through their agenda and find these things based on the given clues from us. And finally, we've done a virtual field day with Goose Chase, and this was in the spring of 2020 when everyone was forced to be asynchronous. So we set up field day. Of course, it was canceled because the students were not in school, but we still gave them the ability to have their own field day. They were still on a team. They all had different missions they had to complete. And again, this was done completely asynchronously. So if you have the chance, I'd really encourage you to check this out, see how you can incorporate it into your classroom, and hopefully you found some uses that you can use that were beneficial to you as well.